Blake Shelton and Gwen Stefani's marriage has been under the microscope for months, but a brand new rumor has exploded across Nashville. A rumor so personal, so unexpected, that even longtime country insiders were caught off guard. It centers on Blake Shelton, Reba McEntire, and a private phone call that only a handful of people were ever supposed to know about. To understand why this call is causing shockwaves, you have to understand the bond between Blake and Reba. Their relationship isn't a Hollywood friendship. It isn't built on fame or convenience. It's family. Long before Blake was a household name, long before The Voice, long before the tabloid headlines, Reba McEntire was the one who stepped in. Both born and raised on Oklahoma soil, they share the same roots, the same values, the same country-first identity that shaped everything they became. Blake has called Reba his hero, his mentor, and even his second mother. She took him on tour before he had the world's attention. She was one of the first people to see his potential, and one of the few who never changed no matter how famous he became. That's why this rumor is hitting Nashville so hard, because Reba isn't just close to him, she is the inner circle. She is the only person powerful enough to replace him on The Voice. The only person Blake ever joked was his big sister, and the only person who could tell him the truth without him pushing back, and the rumor claims she did exactly that. Years ago, according to whispers that have now gone public, Reba warned Blake about Gwen Stefani long before the wedding, not because she disliked Gwen, but because she didn't trust the world Gwen came from, the red carpets, the LA lifestyle, the non-stop Hollywood chaos that Reba always believed could swallow a country boy whole. She allegedly told Blake not to forget who he was, not to forget Oklahoma, not to get lost in a world that didn't understand him, and now, as the marriage rumors grow louder, that advice is being re-examined in a brand new light. Recently, social media has been buzzing with the idea that Gwen and Blake aren't living the same life anymore. Fans noticed she spends most of her time in LA, while Blake stays in Oklahoma on the ranch. The whispers turned into headlines, and headlines turned into speculation. Is Blake preparing to defend his wife? Is he angry at Reba? Does he feel betrayed? But according to the new insider rumor, none of that is true. The story claims Blake didn't lash out at Reba. He didn't demand she stay silent. He didn't even try to correct the narrative. Instead, he allegedly called her in private. And this is where everything shifts. Sources claim the call wasn't angry. It was emotional. Blake, exhausted and overwhelmed, allegedly confessed to Reba that the pressure of maintaining a Hollywood-style marriage had worn him down. The rumor says he felt trapped between two worlds, the bright lights of LA and the quiet fields of Oklahoma. And the insiders claim he finally admitted to Reba that she had been right all along, right about the lifestyle, right about the pressure, right about the path he was heading down. According to the whispers, Blake didn't call her for advice, he called her for help. He needed grounding. He needed someone who knew him before the fame, before the headlines, before Gwen. And Reba was that person. One source claims he told her, "I miss who I used to be." Another says he admitted, "I don't recognize this version of myself anymore." A third insists he said, "I made a mistake." None of these details are confirmed. But the rumor alone has been enough to send Gwen's fan base into a frenzy. Because if the call really happened, it represents the one thing Gwen never expected: Blake turning back to his Oklahoma roots. Blake turning back to the woman who warned him. Blake choosing Reba for comfort instead of defending his marriage publicly. The alleged fallout is just as dramatic. Insiders claim Reba wasn't celebrating the moment. This wasn't an "I told you so," this was heartbreak. She didn't want to be right, she wanted him to be happy. But the rumor says she shifted from warning him to guiding him. That her advice wasn't caution anymore, but a plan. That she told him, "Come home. Stop pretending. Be who you are. We're still here for you." Whether those words were spoken or not, the idea of Reba helping Blake find his way back to himself is a story that Nashville has latched onto. Meanwhile, the rumor says Gwen is in panic mode. That she wants Blake to publicly shut down the speculation. That she wants him to distance himself from Reba. That she wants reassurance that their marriage isn't slipping away. But instead of defending her, Blake allegedly made that one quiet call. In the world of country music, that means everything. It means Blake may be choosing peace over performance, home over Hollywood, authenticity over appearances. The rumor suggests he's tired of living two lives, the LA superstar next to Gwen and the Oklahoma rancher who just wants his old life back. Is any of this confirmed? No. These are unverified rumors circulating through Nashville insiders and fan discussions online. But the story has taken on a life of its own because it fits a pattern fans have noticed for months. Blake looks happier on the ranch. He looks freer on his land. He looks more like himself when he's away from Hollywood. And it sparks a question that only Blake can answer. Is he ready to leave the bright lights behind? Or is this just a rough patch in a high-profile marriage? For now, no one knows for sure. But one thing is certain. The idea of Blake Shelton turning to Reba McEntire, the one person who always told him the truth, is a story that has captured the attention of fans, tabloids, in the entire country music world, because sometimes the quietest phone call can reveal the loudest truth.